Have you ever wondered why every time you try to love, something stops it from happening? Why it feels like the right person comes at the wrong time, or the right time arrives with the wrong person? You give your heart, you open your soul, and somehow everything falls apart before it begins. It's confusing, isn't it? But what if God isn't blocking love to punish you? What if he's protecting you from it for now? Because sometimes love is not the blessing you think it is. Sometimes love can be the test that exposes wounds you haven't healed yet. And God, who sees the whole picture, knows that if he allowed certain relationships right now, they would break you in places he's still rebuilding. You call it delay, he calls it defense. He knows that your heart, though willing, is still fragile, that deep inside there are still parts of you that confuse attention with affection, need with love, loneliness with connection. And so he steps in, he interrupts, he stops what could have destroyed the progress he's been making in your soul. You see, when God says not now, he's not saying never. He's saying not until love feels like peace, not pressure. Not until you can give without losing yourself and receive without fear of being abandoned again. Because divine love requires healing first, and healing takes time. So, if it feels like every door to love keeps closing, maybe it's because heaven is guarding your heart from premature promises. Maybe it's because God knows that if love came too soon, you'd pour from an empty cup and call it connection. He's not keeping love from you, he's keeping you safe for it. This season of waiting isn't loneliness, it's protection. He's saving you from confusion now, so he can give you clarity later. And when it finally happens, it won't leave you anxious. It will leave you at peace. Before we continue, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If this message has already spoken to your heart, like this video and tell me in the comments, what do you think God is protecting you from in this season of waiting for love? There are loves that look right, but arrive wrong. Connections that feel like destiny, but carry the weight of distraction. Sometimes what your heart calls the one, heaven calls not yet, because God knows that love, when it comes too soon, can wound more deeply than rejection ever could. He knows how much you've already endured. He's seen the tears you never told anyone about, the ones you cried behind closed doors when you gave everything and still felt empty. So when he steps in to interrupt another almost love, he's not being cruel. He's being careful. Because the truth is simple. Love given before healing becomes heartbreak, disguised as hope. If God allowed you to fall in love right now, would you love from fullness or from fear? Would you build something stable, or would you cling to someone to fill what's missing inside? He knows that until your heart is whole, you'll mistake intensity for intimacy. You'll call chaos passion. You'll confuse pain for proof of love. So he waits. God doesn't withhold love. He waits for love to become safe for you. He waits until your worth no longer depends on being chosen, until your peace no longer depends on being pursued. Because love, when it's divine, doesn't complete you. It complements what God has already restored in you. You may think you're ready, but readiness isn't about desire. It's about stability. And right now, God is still strengthening the walls of your heart. He's sealing the cracks that past pain left open so that when real love arrives, it won't have to compete with your trauma. So if the relationship ended before it began, or if someone walked away when you least expected, take a breath. That wasn't rejection, that was rescue. God didn't let them stay because he loves you too much to let you be destroyed by what you're not yet healed enough to handle. Sometimes love is delayed not because it's wrong, but because you're still being rebuilt. And when God finishes his work in you, you'll realize that what you thought was loss was actually his mercy wearing disguise. There are few words harder to accept than "not yet," especially when your heart is ready, your intentions are pure, and all you want is to love and be loved. You look at your life and think, why would God make me wait for something so good? But that's the mystery of divine timing. God's no is sometimes a sacred "not yet." He sees what your emotions can't. He knows that love in the wrong season can distract you from the purpose he's still building. That the person who looks perfect today might still carry battles that would clash with your own. And because he loves you too much to let your peace be destroyed by premature connection, he pauses the story. God's delays aren't punishment, they're protection wrapped in patience. He isn't withholding love to break your spirit. He's slowing you down to strengthen it. Because divine love requires more than desire. It requires readiness. He's not just preparing a person for you, he's preparing a version of you that can love without fear and receive without resistance. When God says, "not yet," he's saying, I need to finish something in you first. Maybe it's healing from an old wound. Maybe it's learning to stand on your own without needing someone to validate your worth. Maybe it's understanding that your identity is found in him, not in who stays or who leaves. The waiting feels like a pause, but in heaven it's progress, because while you're waiting for love, God is building the capacity in you to keep it. He's teaching you that love should never cost your peace, that timing matters just as much as truth, and that the right story will never require you to lose yourself to begin it. So don't mistake delay for denial. The pause you're in is proof that God is personal with your process. He's not punishing you for wanting love. He's preparing you to experience it the way he intended, not rushed, not restless, but redeemed. And when the time comes, you'll understand why the "not yet" had to come before the "finally." Because sometimes the most loving thing God can say is, "Wait, I'm not done protecting you yet." Sometimes the loudest "no" from heaven comes in the form of silence. You pray for clarity, for a sign, for a door to open, but nothing happens. And in that stillness, you start to wonder if God forgot about you, if maybe you're asking for too much. But silence is not God ignoring you, it's God protecting you. When he goes quiet, he's not being cruel, he's being careful. Because there are things you can't yet see, intentions that look pure but hide pain, connections that seem peaceful but carry chaos. And while your heart says yes, his wisdom says not this, not now. So he stays silent, to stop you from walking into something that would steal the healing he's been building in you. You see, silence is God's way of saving you from confusion. It's the pause that prevents disaster. It's his invisible hand saying, "You won't understand this yet, but one day you'll thank me." And though your emotions crave answers, your spirit is being guarded by his restraint. If God had spoken too soon, you would have mistaken his mercy for permission. You would have called your desire destiny. But because he loves you, he lets the silence stretch, long enough for you to see that peace without his confirmation is just temptation in disguise. Sometimes he doesn't respond to your prayers because you're asking for something that would cost you your purpose. So instead of speaking, he shields. Instead of explaining, he preserves. Because protection doesn't always come through warning. Sometimes it comes through withholding. So if heaven feels quiet right now, don't panic. The silence means he's still watching. It means his hands are still over your heart, keeping what's sacred from being touched by what's not. Ready. The unanswered prayer is often the loudest proof that he loves you. And one day, when the right love arrives, you'll understand that the silence wasn't absence. It was safety. If this spoke to you, write in the comments, "I trust God's protection over my heart." The heart is quick. It races ahead. It dreams fast. It believes deeply. But purpose moves slower. Purpose waits, watches, and works in layers that emotion can't understand. And that's why God sometimes has to slow you down. Not because your heart is wrong, but because it's running ahead of his timing. There are moments when you feel ready to love, when everything inside of you aches to give and be given to. But God knows that love without purpose becomes distraction. He knows that if he gave you what you want before you're grounded in who you are, you'd start worshiping the relationship instead of the reason he created you. Your heart was designed to feel, but your spirit was designed to lead. And when your emotions try to outrun your calling, God steps in to protect the order of things. He pauses the story you're trying to rush because he sees how easily passion can silence discernment. He knows how quickly you can confuse intensity with intimacy when you're still healing. So when it feels like your heart keeps running into walls, understand this: those walls are mercy. They're God's way of keeping you from building a future on foundations that still crack under pressure. He's not denying you love. He's teaching your heart to walk instead of sprint. Because the right relationship doesn't compete with your purpose, it completes your peace. Every time he slows you down, he's inviting you to grow deeper roots. He's training your emotions to submit to wisdom. He's reminding you that love is not supposed to rush you, confuse you, or take you away from what he's called you to do. The heart wants what it wants, but God gives what you need. And sometimes that means waiting until your desires and your destiny finally move in sync. So don't resent the pause. It's divine pacing. Because when the right person arrives, they won't pull you out of your purpose. They'll walk beside you in it, and you'll realize that God didn't hold you back. He was making sure your heart and his plan would arrive together. Love that rushes rarely roots, because what's born in haste often fades in silence. But the love that waits, the love that allows time to refine it, that's the love that lasts. And that's why God sometimes holds it back. He's not punishing you with delay. He's preserving you for depth. You see, divine love doesn't bloom under pressure. It grows in patience. It's not built on impulse, but on intention. And while the world tells you to chase it, God teaches you to become it. To let love start inside of you before it ever comes from someone else. The wait is not wasted. Every moment of silence, every unanswered prayer, every season of almost, it's building something sacred. It's teaching you how to love with peace instead of panic, how to choose with wisdom instead of loneliness, how to stay grounded in God even when your heart longs for connection. When love is from God, it won't need to be forced. It won't come wrapped in confusion, nor will it demand you to lose yourself to keep it. It will arrive quietly, naturally, peacefully, because what's divine doesn't compete with your healing, it completes it. That's why he's making you wait, because he's forming the kind of love that mirrors his character. Patient, kind, steady, and true. He's ensuring that when you finally meet that person, your love won't be born from need, but from wholeness. It won't be two halves trying to fix each other. It'll be two healed hearts reflecting his grace together. What takes time to grow is meant to last beyond time, and the love that endures is the one that knows how to wait. Because waiting teaches you to value what's real, to recognize what's holy, and to protect what's imprecious. So if it's taking longer than you hoped, take heart. Love that rushes might feel exciting, but love that waits becomes eternal. And when it finally arrives, it won't just stay, it will stand. Because the love that waits with God will always remain with God. Before God gives you someone to love, he gives you a reason to heal. Because love can't grow where pain still rules. And if he allowed you to love now, before the healing was complete, the love you're praying for would end up bleeding through the wounds you refuse to close. Healing always comes before having. It's the sacred pause between heartbreak and wholeness, where God teaches you how to love without fear. He's not withholding affection from you. He's rebuilding your definition of it, because somewhere along the way, you learned to call attention love, attachment, comfort, and survival connection. But now, he's teaching you the truth. Real love doesn't hurt to hold. That's why he keeps you in this quiet space. Not to isolate you, but to restore you. He's teaching you that solitude isn't loneliness, it's surgery. It's where he removes the lies that heartbreak planted and replaces them with peace. It's where you learn that you are not hard to love. You were just loving people who couldn't meet you where you were growing. You may feel ready to love again. But God knows readiness isn't about desire, it's about depth. You can't build something sacred while still bleeding from what broke you. So he delays the new connection until the old pain no longer dictates your reactions. He waits until forgiveness replaces bitterness, until peace replaces panic. Because divine love can't breathe in a heart still haunted by the past. Healing isn't the absence of pain. It's the mastery of peace. It's the moment when you no longer seek love to prove your worth, but to reflect the worth you've already found in him. And when you reach that place, love won't be a distraction anymore. It will be a continuation of your healing. So if you're still in that quiet process, don't rush it. God is not punishing you with loneliness. He's preparing you for love that won't hurt this time. Let him finish what he started, because the healed version of you will attract the healed version of what you've been praying for. If this spoke to you, write in the comments, "I'm letting God heal me before I love again." One of the reasons God hasn't let you love yet is because he refuses to let love replace him. He knows how easily a heart that's still healing can make an idol out of affection. How quickly your prayers can turn from "God lead me" to "God don't let them leave." And because he loves you too deeply, he won't let you lose yourself again in the name of love. There's a kind of love that draws you closer to God, and another that slowly drifts you away from him. The second kind feels exciting, consuming, intoxicating, but it leaves you spiritually empty, because what starts as connection can turn into distraction if it's not grounded in purpose. So before God gives you love, He makes sure you've learned to put him first. He's teaching you that the right person won't compete with his presence, they'll carry it. They won't pull you out of alignment, they'll help you stay in it, because real love doesn't make you forget who you are in him. It reminds you. It's not supposed to replace your relationship with God, but reflect it. That's why he's still holding you in this season of solitude. He's making sure that your identity is rooted in him, not in who chooses you. He's preparing you to love from overflow, not from emptiness. Because when love becomes your focus more than your faith, it stops being holy and starts being heavy. The love he's preparing won't distract you. It will deepen you. It will help you worship louder, not quieter. It will make you love God more, not less. And when that love comes, you won't feel anxious about losing it, because it will carry the same peace that his presence does. So if you're wondering why he hasn't sent that person yet, maybe it's because he's still teaching you that his love must be your first love. Only then can the second one survive. The love that doesn't distract you from God will be the love that draws you closer to him every single day. Love doesn't come when you chase it. It comes when you become the kind of heart that can hold it without fear. And that's why God hasn't let it happen yet, because he's still preparing you to receive love from a healed place, not a hungry one. You see, real love doesn't show up to fix you. It meets you once you're already whole. It doesn't come to complete your story. It comes to continue it. That's why he's been so intentional about this season. He's not just getting someone ready for you. He's getting you ready for someone. There's a reason why certain doors stayed closed, why certain people didn't stay, why the timing never worked. It's because the version of you who prayed, the love wasn't the version who could sustain it. You were still learning boundaries, still confusing connection with purpose, still trying to prove your worth instead of resting in it. But now, he's teaching you that the right love won't require you to earn it. It will recognize you. When you are ready, love won't feel like chasing. It will feel like peace. It won't demand constant reassurance because you'll already be secure. It won't pull you away from yourself. It will meet you in your purpose. Because real love doesn't interrupt your calling, it aligns with it. And maybe that's why he's still asking you to wait. Because he's shaping your heart to receive love as an addition, not as heir. He wants you to stand strong enough so that when love comes, it adds to your peace instead of becoming the reason for it. So stop worrying about when. When you're ready, you won't have to find it. It will find you. It will come naturally, quietly, divinely, not through searching, but through surrender. Not through striving, but through stillness. When God sees that your heart no longer confuses love with escape, that's when he releases what's meant for you. Because true love doesn't arrive when you need someone. It arrives when you've learned that God was enough all along. Now you can see it clearly. God never denied you love. He delayed it for your healing. He wasn't punishing you by keeping you single. He was protecting you from the kind of love that would have reopened every wound he's been trying to close. You called it loneliness, but heaven called it rebuilding. Every unanswered prayer, every almost love, every person who walked away, none of it was random. Each one was part of a divine pattern designed to teach you how to choose peace over panic, wholeness over need, and timing over emotion. He had to pull you away from counterfeit love so you could recognize the real thing when it comes. Because the truth is, love that comes too soon teaches dependence, but love that comes in God's time teaches devotion. You weren't being punished for wanting love. You were being prepared to experience it the right way. He needed you to see that love is not supposed to confuse you, control you, or consume you. It's supposed to complement what He's already completed inside you, and that's why He stopped it before it started, not to hurt you, but to heal you. When it finally happens, it won't feel rushed or uncertain. It will be quiet, peaceful, steady. It won't pull you out of God's presence. It will pull you deeper into it, because the person meant for you won't distract you from your purpose. They'll help you fulfill it. You'll look back on this waiting season and realize it was never about finding the right person. It was about becoming the right heart, and that's the kind of preparation that lasts forever. If you've made it to this part of the video, that means this message was meant for you. Check if you're subscribed to the channel, because here every word is made to heal and awaken your spirit. Leave a comment saying, "God is protecting my heart until the right time." That's your declaration today, your way of saying, "I trust His timing more than my own." And don't forget to like this video and watch the next one that's appearing on your screen. It continues this same journey of faith, love, and divine timing. Because when God stops something, it's never rejection. It's always redirection towards something sacred.